even early on when I was trying to find when I was kind of getting post my influences, my main influences as jazz musician, jazz drummers or whatever would be things like Elvin Jones and Paul Motian and Ed Blackwell and people like that, Jack DeJohnette from the second wave of those generations of Billy Hart, as I mentioned before. I would always feel like I was drawn to these people that really played like very personally, very personal. We can all talk about the Mount Rushmore people, from Elvin Jones to Max Roach and Tony Williams and all these people, but they were very iconoclastic. They were very themselves. They were very forthright about their languages, and I felt like, wow, if there's a chance to find something that's mine, that's the sort of group of thinkers I want to be a part of, at least the trajectory of a generation beyond, people like that. And I'm attracted to those people in my generation as well. And so I guess, my overall thought about how I break out of things is I always want to feel like I'm not showing too much of the schematics of how something happens. I think my criticism of a lot of modern jazz today is the inner workings of the grids are very, very obvious. It might seem hyper complex, and it is, but it's also showing its grid. So it's extremely, like if it's bars of five, it's all these other odd time things that are becoming so normal that they're becoming almost a clichéd language. And then you have also this sort of like appropriations of the Dilla concept on beats and things like that, which is cool for a bit, and then it becomes everybody jumps on that. And everybody's doing these versions of these things, these manipulations and displacement and playing along with tracks and a metronome and the Instagram world of some track is playing and everybody's figured out a way to play it backwards and forwards and all these other things instead of actually playing some compelling music with it. It becomes more these exercises are showing not an individual touch or language. These are just grid exercises ultimately. The patterns, there's no space, there's no phrasing. It's just hand patterns that are displaced or hand patterns. That type of thing frankly irks me because there's so much more to discover from your own life experience than just figuring out a couple patterns and then knowing how to displace them and then get really fast at them. It's desensitizing very quickly for me. It's like if I heard somebody just do one fill like that in the middle of just playing some really good ride beat or some really nice time, and then there's this moment where you can pick a moment. You've decided when to use it. We keep forgetting maybe that we get to decide when we can express something and when we can not, when we can hold it back and kind of stay home, play a language, do these things. And for me, like I like this sort of round approach, like almost like a way that Jack DeJohnette, you could either try to imitate Jack DeJohnette or you can fail, or you have this circular version of creativity and time. There's drama in it. You're not sure if it's going to get pulled off. That's one of the things that I've always loved about Jack is I don't hear many riffs. I don't hear like this sort of, it's absolutely going to be nailed. There's drama in it, and you can hear the search. And so for me, sometimes obscuring a moment with a shape where my internal clock can kind of gauge bar lengths. I could be playing a very strict mathematical concept or a strict whatever concept, and then at the same time, a cloud formation version can appear, and or some sort of shape that I know the beginnings and endings of. Or if it's free music, I can use those as counterpoint shapes on top of things. I can decide I'm going to play something very strict when people don't sound like they're playing anything within a grid system. You become the counterpoint. You get to make those choices. That is exciting. I think that most people, not most people, I think if more people were encouraged to decide more, instead of just, that's possible, so I'll do it. That's possible. So it's more like decide. Decide a good moment to be restless. Decide a good moment to be a little outsized, or a little bit of an obstacle, or with the right people who wouldn't take it the wrong way and think you were being, hogging the space. Or decide when you leave more space and drop out